So hello everyone. In this video we will learn about how to implement heaps in C++ using STL. So I have seen most of the people unable to write the basic implementation of C++ uh, of heaps using comparators, right? Because sometimes we have we have a lot of data. Let's suppose we have not only single data but we have multiple data, right? Like pair or vector or something, right? And then we have some condition. On the basis of that we need to use the priority queue, and most of the people are unable to do so. So in this video I will try to address that problem, and I will try to help you guys to learn into that aspects, right? So I will be not focusing on basic implementation of Heap because I believe you guys must know it, and if you don't know I'll be providing the links so that you can understand how Heaps works and all those things, right? Okay, so let's move to the implementation part, right? So here is a basic code which I have already written for you guys, right? Now this priority queue is present in this queue header file, right? So once we use or once we include that in our code, then we are good to use this priority queue. After that, let's talk about max heap, like how to write max heap. So you can see that it is simple. You just need to declare that's int or any other data type which you want to use, like double or long or whatever. After that you need to declare a container, right? So what this container means, right? Basically inside every STL there is a container, right? So in priority queue as well we need to use some container, right? So inside it implicitly uses vector. So that's why it is not mandatory for max heap, right? So to also declare max heap, what we can do is we can just write priority queue and int and one second, yeah, hint, and I can just say pq, right? So this is also max heap, right? One motive of this vector int I have wrote is because, like, most of the people don't know how or which internal container has been used in the max heap, right? So that's what I learned, so I like to share that. So and simple, like, once we declare that, we will just simply push all the values in it of the respective data set which we have, data type which we have mentioned over here, right? So once we push the elements, we'll try to pop it out, right? And then we will just validate that, okay, if this works properly or not. After that we have min heaps without comparator. Now, like, we don't have, just like maximum heap, we don't have the standard min heap, right? So how do we implement that? So we declare the same as priority queue data type vector or the container which it internally uses. After that we need to here write as a comparator, right? Or a predicate. On the basis of that it evaluates, right? So for here we are using the greater int, which is like implicit predicate for us. And again, after that my min heap is ready. After that I'll just push it and try to validate if my answer is correct or not. So after that, let's try to use min heap with comparators. Now, again, the basic concept is similar till here. After that we are using this comparator, right? So what this comparator is doing for us, I have created this structure. Inside that I have a binary predicate, right, which contains two parameters, right? Sorry about the naming conventions, right? So a and b for the sake. And now if I talk about min heap, right? So you guys might be confusing ki yaar Sonu, while writing the sort function, and so while writing the sort function, or to implement a comparator in sort function, what we do is we try to create a comp in here, provide the containers in these two parts, and then provide the comparator. And in comparator what we do is we just do this a less than b, if we have two parameters a comma b, for ascending order, right? And for descending, what we do is basically we do the opposite, which is a is greater than b. So this is for ascending, right? So in min heap you will say that, okay, if a is greater than b, then it is for min heap, right? So this is what we need to worry about, that okay, if a is greater than b, then it is min heap, right? Don't compare it or don't get confused with the sorting one, right? Or the sorting comparator, where what it does is, like, if a is less than b, then it's for increasing, right? And if a is greater than b, it's for decreasing. But for here what it does is it just shifted the priority queue to the b element, which is smaller, right? So that's how all it works, and it again go to the min heap, right? So what I did is I again, like, declare the data type, and the container which it will be using implicitly inside, and the comparator. And in the comparator, I have done the operator overloading part, where I have defined how should my my heap should behave while getting the values, right? And this is the main part where we all should know, because instead of int data type, we can have pairs, right? We can have pairs, we can have vectors as well, right? So we all must know like how to implement that properly. And but the basic idea would be same, like if a is greater than b, right? So greater would define the priority to the right part, right? So that's all what it is. Now, other than that, there is one more technique which I know. There might be many, but this is the last one which I know to write or to implement uh, heaps in C++. Right. So what it does, it's again, it's the same till here. After that, we write declare type. In that, we are defining our comparator, right? And this comparator could be a lambda function over here, right? So basically, we need to define a predicate over here, and that predicate could be in the form of structure or could be in the form of lambda function, but the definition would be the same, right? You can see that I'm using two parameters and then returning the same as in min heap, right? So this is the min heap, but just the implementation is slightly different, right? So some people also use that, and I hope you guys have a small crux or small idea about how it's all going and how to implement it. Let's try to run it. Okay, so first, as I already defined max heap, so after that I'm getting the max value. Then I'm writing the min heap without comparator, so I'm getting minimum values. Then min heap with comparator, again I'm getting the right values, right, the smaller ones first, and then min heap with the lambda, so I'm also getting the same, right? So this is all about the basic implementation part of priority queue in C++, right? Also, I'll be providing the links for Java ones, because I'm not that proficient in Java or any other language, but I'll be providing the links in the description, right? And once again, I would like to encourage you all to know the basic implementation of heaps by yourself, right? So here we will be focusing more on problem solving part. That's why I just gave you a crux, what is more important to just know, right? But I would highly encourage, if you are in a college, so just go and check out the links that I'll be providing you, how it internally implemented, and how what all the other things are needed to implement it, right? That you would have more knowledge in your bucket. So that's all for this video, and thank you so much for watching.